Welcome everybody to this special live stream. I'm Hunter from Film Nerd, and this is a new segment I call Hard Truth. Today we are discussing fanboys, positive, negatives, everything in between. I have a guest tonight. All right, come on. His name is Caleb. What's going on, Caleb?
Hey man, how's it going? Pretty good.
It's going pretty good, man. So give your opening thoughts on fanboys, and is this a good thing, bad thing, in the middle, positives, negatives?
I mean, it depends. Like fanboys, like I consider myself a fanboy, but it depends on how extreme they are, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
Because like I'm probably more of the like negative fanboy than most people like. Like for example, I don't like DC movies for the most part. And I'm more of a critical fanboy. But some people, I don't know, they just take it too far where it gets to like being like a personal attack or something, you know?
Yeah.
What about you?
Nice segue.
Thanks.
The way I look at it, it's my camera faded out there. There's a difference between being a reviewer, which I am. I review movies on YouTube, as you guys know. There's a difference between reviewing a movie and being a fanboy over a movie. Like I love Man of Steel. I know you don't like it, but I do, and I understand your reasons why you don't like it, because I do look at it from this wasn't the most well written script, but I look at it as all the positives I had outweighed the negatives, so I would give it a positive rating. Now I'm not going to just dig my hand in the sand and be like, everything I say about Man of Steel is correct, and no one else's opinions matter, because that's not how this works. I
Right.
can love something, you can love something, but there's a difference as going way too far of loving something and way too far of hating something. Just look at the comment sections. I
Yeah,
mean,
for example, the Schmodown.
oh yeah, yeah,
It's probably one of the greatest things, in my opinion, on the internet today, and yet, like the fans make make it kind of terrible,
yeah,
especially for the competitors.
yeah. Especially when they give them such a hard time on just the most dumbest things.
Yeah.
But um, there's two different types of fanboys. You have positive fanboys and negative fanboys. The negative fanboys, I believe, are the worst because they do not want to hear others' opinions. They do not want to hear what the other one has to say. They don't want to have a discussion. They want them to be right, and that's it. They just want to be right in general.
But
I'm
see,
a
I feel like
fan.
there's levels to the like negative fanboy because I have a ton of fun just arguing with people, and so like a lot of the times it's just that for me. But then there's other, so I that's kind of negative fanboying. But there's a difference between like being a fanboy and being a troll.
Yeah,
And like I even if I am arguing with somebody or like nitpicking to mess with somebody, it's not disrespectful
yeah,
or I don't, I'm still trying to hear the other person's opinion as well.
yeah. Now, see, I'm not saying that there's a bad thing in being a fanboy. I'm a fanboy. I mean, we all are fanboys of something. Um, I love the DC movies. Now, some of them could be a bit better. Like Suicide Squad, I enjoyed as a good popcorn movie. I'm not saying it was a good script or some of the acting wasn't good, but I loved the Harley Quinn, Deadshot relationship. Will Smith and Margot Robbie have good chemistry. I just love the fact that I can sit back, have a big bucket of popcorn, and just enjoy the action movies. It's like one of
Right.
those, you enjoy it, but you can, like, there's like glaring issues with it.
There certainly are.
Yeah, but like I just look at it like I enjoyed my time watching Suicide Squad, and it wasn't like my time was wasted.
Okay. Yeah, see, I see that.
See, I'm not going to give it a perfect rating. I'd probably give it a 4 out of 5 stars, but that's just the
even,
entertainment factor.
even, yeah, okay.
Um, but yeah, we're all fanboys of something. It's the level of increase that you take your fanboy. Like, I like DC movies. I also love Marvel movies. I'm not going to be a Marvel or DC fanboy because why can't why can't we just be
Right.
happy that we're getting comic movies in general? There was a time,
See, and that's where I feel like that it starts to get where negative fanboying starts to get like restrictive or bad is like like why would you not like Marvel and DC? Like why would you have to think you have to just stick to one because loyalty or whatever? Makes no sense.
yeah,
Like I've grew up on Marvel. I love Marvel, but like I kind of have equal disdain for the most recent movies of both franchises.
yeah, same.
And then like other people love them equally. I don't understand just because the name or the label applied to it says you can't be says you
A
can't be
fan.
friends.
Yeah,
Yeah.
as Campia, John Campia on YouTube would call them the corporate slaves, which I just love that name because what I don't understand is
We're all
each
corporate
like
slaves.
all right, so everyone faults DC for all their, especially like the Marvel fanboys, and same thing for DC fanboys. But when Marvel fanboys do it, they want to criticize every little movie. When Marvel also had bad movies, and vice
Absolutely
versa.
agree.
So it's like they
I
all have
think
bad movies. They all have good movies. Can we not just be fans that we're getting a comic book movies in general? Because there was a time when we weren't going to get this, like in general. Like after Daredevil and Catwoman, there was like, there's no
yeah.
way we were.
there was they were dead in the water, man.
Yeah.
It's freaking Batman and Robin.
Oh god. See, I enjoyed that because it was so cheesy, but I
Oh
didn't.
yeah, but like it's weird because it's I don't think it's one of those movies that is so bad that it's good because it was some of them were trying to be so bad that it's good
Yeah.
and some of them were trying to be serious and like it didn't really work.
Yeah. But
Like Arnold Schwarzenegger, he knew what movie he was making. He was
the Iceman cometh.
yeah, eyes to see you.
What killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age.
The ice age. Oh, it was so good.
Oh man. But see, like,
But then you had like uh Uma Thurman and like the ruination of Bane.
oh god.
Like
I
it
love how
was
we
like
got
they were
off
trying to
topic.
play it so yeah, I know. This is what I do, man. I rant. I
I
rant
love
about things that
rants.
I don't like.
But back on topic of fanboys.
Right.
Um,
Feel free to cut all this out.
nah, man, no edits here. We're just gonna go for it. But fanboys, like, you can be a fanboy, but you don't be that fanboy that takes it too far. Like, all right, example, I was scrolling through the YouTube comment sections one video because I like to see people fight. It's pretty funny at times,
Yeah.
but it was, I think, a video where they were discussing Zack Snyder leaving and what happened with family. And dude, the comments that were under there were sickening, to say the least. I mean,
Yeah.
people were just bashing.
And we've had this conversation before about Zack Snyder, where it's like I personally like I hated those DC movies, but I actually think he's quite a good director.
Yeah,
Like I've liked a lot of his movies, and I don't get the vitriol. I mean, I sort of get it from those like fanboys that are like, you ruined my favorite thing. But at the same time, like, I mean, dude, his kid died. What is wrong with you?
Yeah. I mean, I've
Like,
seen stuff like,
that's like
especially
despicable.
after that happened, some of the comments were like, "Hope he never comes back," and blah 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 blah. Which I never understood that because people were excited when Joss Whedon came in, even though they do realize that they're going off of the Zack Snyder script, which the very first trailer for Justice League had that humor and comedy and tone way before Joss Whedon came in to rewrite and stuff.
Yeah, and also like a lot of people are acting like Joss Whedon is going to be the savior of the DC universe, and
Age of Ultron.
that's Patty Walsh, or right, yeah, and B, yeah, Age of Ultron was pretty damn bad.
Yeah. See, the problem I had with Age of Ultron, it was a good movie, but the way,
It was a good movie inside of a bad movie.
yeah, they the
Like
way
they
they
put too
treated
much stuff
Ultron,
into it.
the way they treated Ultron made me mad because they made Ultron crack too many jokes and he was lighthearted, even though in the comics he wasn't like that. And I know they're gonna take liberties and stuff, but at least keep with what the character was supposed to be, which is a deadly menace.
Yeah, and it's weird because they, again, this is another tangent, but like, you know, I feel like they thought they were being so smart with the whole like Pinocchio comparison, but then they leaned into it real hard and was like, oh no, he is a real boy, and what a, like, the, you know, the weird question of AI sentience and all that.
Yeah.
It was really confusing, and I think a lot of people thought it was kind of deep, but I thought it was super heavy-handed.
See, another thing I don't like about that movie is, and this is not us fanboying. This is just us being reviewers and
Yeah,
looking at the movie as it is.
having a conversation.
Yeah. But like another thing, the Quicksilver death. I didn't understand that. How is he going to be killed by bullets?
The guy can run the speed of sound, but he couldn't
Yeah.
outrun one bullet, or well, a bunch of bullets.
Yeah, but still.
It's not even like he outran most of them and then he got hit by one. It was like, no, he just stood there and took them.
Yeah. He stopped.
The entire movie, you've been pushing people like out of the way. Why would you just stand in front of them?
And I mean, coming off of the X-Men Future Past one, where he had bullets pointing at his face, slow down time and just move the bullets around. This one was like, why is he faster than bullets over here and not over here?
Yeah, I don't know. It's a tough question to answer.
Yeah, it is. All right, back on topic.
Yes, back to asshole fanboys.
But yeah, I mean, just the way that fanboys react when you try to say that they're wrong or, you know, prove your side of the point and they don't want to listen to it. That's what gets me mad is I'll say something and be like, why can't we just, you know, enjoy all types of movies? And I'll get somebody on there that's like, oh, Marvel rules, blah, blah, blah. I'm just like, this is my point. This is what I'm proving right here.
Yeah, like there's, you know, there's good and there's bad on all sides, you know. It's not.
Yeah. I mean, trust me.
Same with like the whole Star Trek versus Star Wars thing. That's still, it's not as prevalent as it used to be, but it's still a big thing.
Well, because now Abrams did both of them.
Right? Yeah. he kind of blew that rivalry up.
Abrams was like, "Stand back. I'll direct both.
Yeah.
I'll do both of them."
Screw both of them up, but you know, that's okay. That's another story.
Yeah. But yeah, man, just why can't we just acknowledge when movies are good, acknowledge when movies are bad, and just have discussions? Why does it always have to end up being a fight?
I think partially it's a bit of like, you know, people who feel ownership of these properties because it is so personal. And like, mm, I'm I'm a little older than you, so like I still remember when being a geek was a bad thing,
Yeah.
and like so that was what brought us together and got us through the like hard times of being bullied and that kind of stuff. So we took ownership of this source material, but I forgot the question. I was just talking.
The question was, why does all discussions have to end in
Oh
fight?
right. So then I so when somebody has such a personal connection to something and somebody else is like, oh, that was shit, or oh, this was great, i i, I kind of understand the like how so many fights break out. I think mostly people need to kind of slow down and just learn to express themselves articulately, though, instead of just attacking out of emotion and
Yeah.
feeling.
See, with me being a reviewer, I have the mindset of I look at both the positives and the negatives of movies.
Right.
Wonder Woman, I loved Wonder Woman, but there are Marvel movies that I liked as more. I loved the new Spider-Man Homecoming movie, but I loved Wonder Woman.
Right.
I liked Man of Steel. Didn't really like Age of Ultron. See what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
fluctuate.
Which I still don't understand, but that's not the point of this
What?
episode.
Like
So
in Man of Steel?
yeah, but I accept it and I'm okay with it.
Yeah. And see, I don't.
Still like you as a person. I just
Yeah.
think you're wrong.
See, and that's okay if you think I'm wrong, as long as you can back up point as why you think I'm wrong.
Right.
We can start discussions about that. But when you're just like, when someone's like, you're wrong, and they don't give no reason why,
Just going, well, you suck. That doesn't do
yeah, that
anything.
doesn't do anything because one, there's
It just,
stuff that
it
I
just,
see that maybe you don't see, and then we can communicate about that. There's some stuff that I can see why you don't like Man of Steel and why I do. See what I'm saying?
yeah. No, I mean, I get what you're saying about why you like it, but I don't understand it myself.
Yeah, and that's okay. I mean, as long as you're just not like, oh, you suck as a person, blah 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 blah. Like,
Yeah, when you make it a personal attack, and again, like with the Schmodown and like things like that, where you know people are taking the kayfabe, the character, and they're like attributing it to a personal, like on a personal level.
yeah,
Like that's like it's so extreme. People are being so terrible about
yeah.
this.
Like, I can't even go in the comments of the Schmodown anymore to read them because the things I see on there are just they're nasty, man. I mean,
Like it makes me want to learn how to swat someone. Like
but yeah, people are just. I guess people. The reason why we fanboy and to the extreme is because we love something so much.
yeah, and I mean I guess in that way it's still complementary to the thing we love, but uh, ultimately it's a negative, and we gotta
Yeah.
figure out some way to work on that.
See, it's not. It's negative and positive. It's positive because when people are fanboys, but they want to start discussions. They want, like me. I'm a fan of Man of Steel. You're not a fan of Man of Steel. We can talk about that and not have any hard feelings toward each other. But
Right.
there's also negative when people take it too far and they're like, don't want to start discussions. They start hating people. They start hating the other companies, which in reality, there's no reason to hate Marvel or DC because they both want each other to do well. Because when one movie does well, that gets people back into the theater to see the next movie. When a Marvel movie does well, the people are like, oh, the next one's a DC movie. I'm going to go see that in theaters and both make money.
Yeah. As long as Transformers stops making money.
Yeah, Transformers need to stop. We both can agree on that one. I think I gave up after the first one, and I was just like, I'm done after this.
I don't even remember where I stopped. I think it was 3. Whichever one that was the first one that Megan Fox wasn't in.
Yeah. See, in Roka's review for Transformers, it's the greatest thing ever, though.
Yeah, and that's the crazy thing, because I get it. Like, I
Yeah.
understand what he's saying, but at the same time, they're terrible. Like,
See, I
they're
can't really
such
give
bad
Roka.
movies.
I can't really give Roka a hard time because I love the Fast and Furious franchise.
I think
So,
that's totally different, actually, because those are satisfying action movies. Like, you can understand the plot, and most of the time,
yeah,
you can
and I
see
actually
what's
think
happening.
somebody brought that up on I think Campus podcast. He was like, the difference is Transformers has characters you do not give a shit about. So
Yeah.
when something bad happens to them, you don't care. If something bad happens to someone in Fast and Furious, they've had all these movies and
Well,
developed the characters well that you enjoy or get an emotional feeling when something happens to them.
yeah. And at this point, how many times has Optimus Prime died? I think it's like 4.
He's died in every
He's
movie and came back in every movie.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, that's only happened to one character in the
Yeah. And apparently,
it happened to Megatron as well, and I think somebody else, like, where they died and they came back.
yeah. Apparently, they're doing a
Like, that only happened to Letty in Fast and the Furious.
yeah. She's the only one.
Yeah.
And apparently, they're doing a Bumblebee spin-off movie with Haley Steinfeld. Interesting, but as long as Michael Bay isn't directing, we'll be good.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like she'll get creeped out by Michael Bay and quit.
Yeah. Let's see, Bay's not even a bad director. He has some good movies. I enjoyed Bad Boys 1 and 2. McCoos.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, totally. I think I compared Snyder to
Bay.
Michael Bay before, where
See,
it's like he's locked into these, in my opinion, bad movies.
yeah.
But
see,
like, if you look at Dawn of the Dead, I think that was a great movie. If you look at
I love
Bad
that movie.
Boys, this is Snyder. Like, I even like Sucker Punch. That Guardians movie, whether it was good or bad,
300 was fantastic.
It was visually stunning. 300 is still one of my favorite action movies.
Yeah.
And then same with Michael Bay. Same. You shut your damn mouth. But then, I mean, and then you look at Michael Bay. You got the same thing. You got Bad Boys. You got Bad Boys 2. You got The Rock, which is, again, one of the greatest action movies, I think.
Pain and Gain,
at least of the '90s. Pain and Gain was okay. It was fun.
I just hate that
it was really weird, but it was fun.
The only thing I didn't like about that movie was that he took a real life situation, a really like horrifying situation, and turned it into a comedy.
I mean, I'm okay with that. I don't know. Like, I wasn't the biggest fan of that, but it was.
Yeah.
It was a choice.
Yeah.
I respect the choice.
But yeah, like, same thing. You have Michael Bay fans, Michael Bay haters. You have Snyder fans, Snyder haters. But the difference, I think, is I feel like Michael Bay has had constantly bad movies. That's just my opinion, but
for the last 10 years, probably. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and there's
since the '90s probably was the cutoff.
See,
he was good in the '90s.
Yeah, see, I think Snyder has put out more good movies than he has bad movies now. If you look at the movie records, I mean,
I'd say he's about at 500, man. He's right on par with like good and bad.
He's like right in the middle.
Yeah.
And we're not saying that any of these are great directors, but I mean, every director has bad movies.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, Spielberg had AI.
I mean, I still haven't seen one from, Edgar Wright, but, I'm sure it'll happen eventually.
Yeah, it'll happen. I still need to see Baby Driver.
Baby Driver's great.
I keep hearing that.
Anyways, we were talking about fanboys.
Yeah. But, I mean, that wasn't completely off topic because we kind of brought it back around, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's just you have to learn to control what you say, especially online, because that stuff can go everywhere.
Yeah, I feel like people online they feel like there's too much. Like, I don't post a lot online because I don't feel like I have that much that's like worth saying.
Yeah.
Like, so many people out there just kind of like word vomit everything that they think online. And I do
Yeah.
like not everything you say is worth hearing.
No, no, it's not. Especially when you get those those dumbasses online that just don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
Yeah, it's the internet. I kind of expect a lot of that to happen, though.
And like I watch a lot of Screen Junkies, like the movie fights and stuff like
Yeah,
that
I do
too.
too.
People like in the comments they're like, "Oh, I'll never watch this again." Like, why do you think they care?
And
Like, come on, they have got like a huge following.
it's
You think it really matters to them that you'll
it.
never watch again if Sasha Pearl Raver comes back on?
See, it's the exact same. I know you watch WWE, correct?
Yeah, I do. Not as much as I used to
Yeah,
when I was
it's
younger, but
it's
yeah.
the old after every pay per view. You have those people on Facebook. I'm unsubscribing to the network. I'm never watching again. First off, why would you want to unsubscribe from the network because you didn't
Right,
like one
over
pay?
like one thing you didn't like.
Yeah, there's still thousands of hours of content you have from WCW and the other promotions. I mean,
Yeah.
for $9, I mean, I still have it and I watch it constantly because there's always something I can catch up on. AWA,
Yeah.
NWA, just completely off
All
topic
types of
again,
stuff.
but
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that was a pretty natural diversion though.
yeah, it was.
It was, but yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know.
fanboys
I
just
feel like people need to start feeling shame again.
yeah,
Like, some people are like, "Oh, you gotta love yourself." Maybe love yourself a little less.
yeah.
People on the
Knock it
internet,
down a bit.
yeah, just like you take it from like, "Oh, I'm Superman" to like, "Oh, the Flash." I don't know.
The Flash is actually,
I
uh,
I know. I just mean like in terms
I
of
know,
mindset.
I know.
You got Superman who's like, "I'm invincible. I'm a happy Boy Scout," and then you got the Flash who acts really happy, but then when he's at home, he's not the like most happy person.
Yeah,
Have you seen that? Oh, never mind. I can't think of what it was called. There was
I'm
this
actually,
like, what? Go ahead.
I'm actually very excited to see Ezra Miller's version of the Flash in the new Justice League.
I was very not until I saw that new trailer.
Yeah,
And that trailer actually turned me around. I still don't like how Cyborg looks. We've talked about how I don't like CGI that much,
yeah, but I mean,
especially when it's a person that they're CGIing.
yeah,
It just doesn't look right to me.
Aquaman looks badass though.
But yeah, absolutely he does.
The
But I
triangle,
mean, I'm absolutely willing to forgive a kind of shitty looking cyborg for the Aquaman and Wonder Woman and Flash
and Batman.
that they showed in that trailer.
Yeah,
Like, I'm excited as hell for that.
Steppenwolf looks awesome too, from what we saw of
From
him.
what you see of him, yeah, it wasn't much.
But
And
I mean,
oh, dude, when they hinted at the Green Lantern,
yeah,
oh, when that was Steppenwolf saying that too. It
yep.
was like, there's no more Lantern.
No more
There's no
Kryptonian.
Kryptonians. Like, oh, I freaked the fuck out when I heard that.
Yeah, and see, back to fanboys.
And
Go,
again, I'm a Marvel guy, so
yeah, see, that's a Marvel guy saying that a DC movie looks pretty good.
yeah, I'm like that excited the hell out of me.
Thoughts on Wonder Woman?
I still haven't seen it.
You need to watch it.
I'm an asshole. But it was. I will say, I did the same thing with the Hobbit movies. I didn't like 2 movies, so I quit. It's the same thing I did with the DC
Get
movies.
back
And
and watch
maybe,
Wonder Woman. It'll turn you around.
yeah.
It won't completely turn you around, but you'll like this movie.
Yeah, like I'm planning on it. Probably this weekend.
Yeah, it's really good.
Especially since it's at the cheap theater now, so I can.
There you go. Yeah,
But yeah,
I went on a Tuesday and I get $5 tickets, so I'm just like, yes.
nice, dude.
So I was like, $5 for a ticket and a good movie. It's a win-win right there.
Heck, you could like that's cheaper than streaming it at this point.
Yep.
If
But
you got on demand.
back on fanboys though, coming off that Justice League trailer talk, I went under there because again, I like seeing people fight, but you know when it's fun argument, when it's like,
Yeah.
you know, when it's banter. But some people,
when it's me and Haven doing it, kind of shit.
yeah, when it's you and Haven, which I wish we could have got Haven on here. That would have been hilarious seeing you guys go at it.
Yeah.
DC versus Marvel.
Doing it live.
But see,
Take him anytime, man. I'm here.
see, going through the comment section, you just see like, oh, this movie looks awful. That trailer looks, you know, fucking awful and blah, 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 blah. But that trailer looked amazing.
Yeah. You know, like I said, I had like a few nitpicks, but
Yeah.
overall, like that's just the achievement of like turning me around on the DCU with a trailer.
Yeah.
Was in and of itself was an accomplishment to me.
And see, I know I'm going to be the unpopular opinion here. I didn't really like that Thor trailer. It was okay, but I mean, it was constant jokes, and that's okay. But for Ragnarok, I want something a little more serious for that comic arc that they're going with here.
Right. I think they might be going too comical, especially when I think I've talked about this with you too, that like I'm worried that they're jamming 2 of the most serious storylines in Thor and Hulk history with Ragnarok and Planet Hulk, and they're jamming them into one movie.
Yeah.
And then like they're doing all this comedy, which is so confusing to me.
Yeah, because like something with Guardians, I understand having comedy because that's more of a comic. The comics are more comical.
Right, yeah.
Ragnarok is a serious, dark death of all Asgardians.
Yeah, Ragnarok is the destruction of Asgard, like in the
you have Thor over here.
Earth. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, but I mean, if you don't know about Ragnarok,
yeah,
why are you here?
Exactly.
We have 0 viewers, so no one's here.
No, that's all right. We're just doing this for us, anyways.
Yep. I'm gonna upload it later, but yeah, man, that's the point where you can have problems with a movie, but see, I look at it like this: Roger Ebert, he would always, if he didn't like a movie, he'd always give positives for it. He's like, all right, I didn't like this movie. This is why I didn't like it. But here are some positives, but overall, don't go see it. If you loved a movie, he would give the positives, but he also give negatives. You know,
yeah.
I'm not going to be like, man,
He's one of the last impartial reviewers, probably.
Huh?
Said he was probably one of the last impartial reviewers.
I know. I think they're like Jeremy Johns, which I'm a huge fan of. He's impartial because if he didn't like a movie, he'll tell why, and he'll give positives. If he loved the movie, he'll tell why and give some negatives. You know?
Yeah.
And I'm the same way. I always have positives and negatives for either side because I don't like people jamming stuff down my throat of like, you have to love this movie or you have to hate this movie.
Yeah, for
Be
sure.
impartial. No movie's perfect. Every movie's going to have something that you don't like about it.
That's for the most part, that's true. Yeah.
Most part.
Well, I mean, like, there's not a whole lot of people that are like, oh, there's a part in The Godfather that I hate. Or,
No,
like,
there are. Like,
really?
go back through and watch that movie. I bet you, if you look through it, you can find at least one thing that didn't work, a character that was out of place, a line that wasn't that good, that was throwaway, just something that you can find negative about a movie that does make it a perfect movie.
I mean, I understand what you're saying, but like, that seems like sacrilege to me, son.
And like,
Like that. I mean, there's that. I kind of feel the same way about Back to the Future, though. Is like it's one like there's no wasted time in that movie at
yeah,
all. Like if you cut anything out of it, it would diminish how good it
actually, I
is.
feel like you could take out one part, but
What's that?
that's the scene where,
Where he goes and convinces his dad to ask his mom to the prom?
no, it's actually two scenes. It's one where that guy comes up to his mom and starts doing the weird dancing moves, and he just pushes him out of the way. That you didn't need that part. Another one is
Oh yeah.
the rock song that Marty starts singing on the stage. Just a lot of little nitpicks, but there's some stuff you can go back to any movie and find something that just didn't work. And I love Back to the Future.
Yeah. I don't agree with you there. I think the Johnny B. Good scene was like absolutely necessary.
Yeah, maybe it was, but I'm just saying,
But
just for me, it was kind of out of place. But that weird scene with the nerd trying to dance with Lorraine, then he just pushes him out of the way. That was why was
well,
that in
see,
there?
because that was George like finally actually asserting himself. You know, it's showing that he got some confidence.
You could
He
have done
was
that.
like,
I mean, I see it as if he's built up the confidence to ask her out or ask her on a dance. That's more than just pushing a nerd out of the way because he's finally
well, I
doing
mean,
that.
so he hit Biff and that was and knocked him out
Yeah,
and
and that
asked her out, but
that
then
could have
like
been it.
he was still that like nervous kid or whatever. Like but then he like got the confidence to just be like, get out of here. This is my girl.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of see
I feel
that.
like it was important.
See, I kind of see that, but I see it as when he decked Biff for the first time. That was him asserting himself as, don't mess with her. This is my girl.
But
That when he finally does ask her to
here's
dance, but go ahead.
but see, but that was a staged fight. You know, he knew what he was expecting. He knew what he was doing. He was expecting to punch somebody in the face, and like it was a spur of the moment thing. I feel like that scene showed that like, oh, he actually like he's got some confidence now.
Yeah,
Now he's a grown ass man who will like take what he wants.
yeah. Agree to disagree, but it's a small portion.
For sure.
I mean, it's a small portion. Not even. It's like a second scene, but I still love the movie overall. Third one had a lot of issues that are glaring,
Well, yeah. Third one had a lot of issues. We don't talk about the third one.
but see, I like all three of them.
I do too. That was a joke.
The second one was kind of weird because of the different time travels, but like the alternate 1985 to
Dude,
1995 and
it's all worth it. All of that movie is worth it just for
yeah.
the parts when they're back in 1955.
Yeah. See, I had the great experience of watching Back to the Future for the first time on uh, on that time when he was going to go back to the future in the first movie, and we had that day. Remember?
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah. Remember?
yeah.
Everyone's talking about Back to the Future
In
Day.
2015.
Yep. I on that day I marathon all three of them for the very first time.
Wow. Holy crap.
That was an experience, man. That was awesome.
Did that make you mad that you didn't have a hoverboard?
No, yeah, it made me mad. I didn't have a hoverboard. They need to make one of those, and not ones where you just roll on the floor. It's not a hoverboard
Yeah.
then.
I want those jackets that like just expand and contract to like whoever's wearing them.
Those shoes, they're
Yeah, those
actually
shoes are
making them.
pretty nice too.
They're making them.
The self-lacing shoes. That's
Yes.
awesome.
Back to
They're gonna
fanboys.
cost like $1,000 though.
Yeah. Back to fanboys.
Yeah, fanboys.
Final
Remember how
thought.
mad? Remember how mad everyone was when they advertised the hoverboard as real?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how to segue back to fanboys.
Just
Uh,
let's just go back to fanboys. Just final thoughts on everything and what you think about fanboys in
just
general.
I think fanboys in general, it's a good thing. It helps a lot of people, but you got to learn to not take things so seriously in terms of like what other people think, and
Yeah.
maybe like I said before, love yourself a little less and love others a little more, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good way to end
or
the segment.
or just Joe Star's sign off. Just be nice to people.
Oh my god, that tyrant he had was great on the Schmoes No show.
Yeah.
Where you just screaming and yelling and but my final thoughts are yeah, I agree with you.
Somebody called my mother a cunt. What the? That was great.
But again, I agree with Caleb. You have to check yourself.
Before
That's
you
the most
wreck
important
yourself.
thing. Check yourself. When you like, it's good to be a fan of something. I'm a fan of Star Wars. I'm a fan of superhero movies. You can be fans of something, but when it turns into being an over fanboy, lost my train of thought for a minute.
Here, I'll vamp for you. It's so much more fun to be a fanboy of everything than to be an exclusive fanboy, anyways.
Exactly. Like, why would you have to pick between Marvel and DC when we're getting comic book movies? Now,
Like, why pick between like American cartoons and anime? Why pick like there's so much good everywhere.
yeah, and there's
Let's
also
stop
bad
being
everywhere.
let's stop being assholes and just like enjoy the things we like.
Yeah, and don't get so offended when people don't like what you like. Because trust me, the great thing about us movie fans is that, as Campy always says, movies are subjective. You can love what you love, you can hate what you hate. But at
Yeah,
the end of
all
the day,
art is subjective.
yes, all art is subjective. But paintings, I don't know, could be considered at a point.
Well,
But
it's all how it makes you feel in the moment.
yeah,
It's
like
like I mean, people look at Picasso and be like, "Oh, this is garbage," and other people are like, "This is the most amazing thing I've ever seen."
yeah,
He understands how I see the world.
yeah.
Like I
But
don't understand what he's trying to say with
say, but
but that's not for me to say whether it's good or not.
yeah, but like film and every art is subjective. You can love what you love, you can hate what you hate, but at the end of the day, respect others' opinions because that's their own. And if they give valid reasons of why they feel like this, don't put it off as like, oh, you're just dumb or you're just wrong. Engage with them, talk with them, understand their point of view,
Yeah,
and then
have a conversation.
why. Have a conversation.
Don't put your head down and swing your arms like a kid at a metal show.
All right, guys. So I guess that's going to be the end of this weird segment where we talked about Back to the Future. We talked about pretty much everything here.
Transformers versus Fast and the Furious.
Yeah. The Schmodown, Marvel and DC, and fanboys in general.
Yes, indeed.
All right, Caleb, sign out.
All right, see you, man.
See you, man.
Ah, shit.
Yeah, guys, at the end of the day, respect others' opinions and just understand their point of view. If you love something, love something. If you hate something, then don't bitch about it. Tell why you don't like it and accept the fact that other people do like it. All right, guys. This was the Hard Truth segment. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys had fun. I'm going to have more of my friends from the Schmodown League come back in next week. Next week, we're talking about native comments and the effect it has on YouTubers and YouTube in general. All right, guys, remember to like, share, and subscribe to Film Nerd. I'm Hunter. I'm a Film Nerd. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.